Yo, Jared, what are you doing, bud? What are you doing?
21s, man. I saw it on a cool YouTube video.
Those YouTube guys. Dude, let me fix this for you, man. You're never gonna grow that way. Hey, dude, I know it probably felt like I was like ripping you apart. It's not that bad. You're making a few mistakes here, but we are gonna correct it, and I'm gonna teach you the right way so you'll get the most out of this. The first thing, let's go ahead and, we're just gonna go ahead and get rid of this.
Okay.
Okay. But first, it'd probably be better to maybe explain why that isn't, I don't want to say it doesn't work, but it's less effective and less efficient than what I want to teach you today.
I want to get the gains. So.
I know you do, bro, and I want you to get the gains as well, but doing 14 half reps and 7 complete reps is less efficient than doing 21 full reps. So I'm gonna teach you the proper way to manipulate your body positioning and use dumbbells to get the most out of this. Because if we think about it, when you're doing 7 from the bottom, the weight is actually, when you're holding it down here at the bottom, there's no resistance going into your biceps, right? We have to think of the laws of physics. That bar that you're holding only resists vertically. Well, if my arm is vertical and I'm trying to create tension here, I'm really only starting tension about there. So the first third of that movement is not creating any tension in the bicep. And when you do the ones at the top, so when you're going here and here, the last third of that movement is not really creating any tension in your bicep. So you have 7 full reps, that's great, but then you take those other 14 reps and you're really only getting maybe 4 to 6 complete reps out of that.
Am I wasting energy?
You're wasting a lot of energy. You're wasting a lot of energy. So we want to be able to direct that energy into building the muscle. So let's grab a bench, because I want to set up an incline with you, and let's grab a set of dumbbells that you feel comfortable working with. So while Jared is getting everything pulled over here, we're setting up to teach you guys the proper way to do 21s. I wanted to talk a little bit about the importance of testosterone. You know, you mentioned the energy. Am I wasting energy when I'm doing these partial movements? 100%. You're also wasting your energy or not maximizing your energy if you got low T, low testosterone. And this is just not predicated on us taking injections or putting pills down our throat. Our testosterone is a factor of our entire lifestyle. So what we've done, guys, is we put together a free report, the 7 worst testosterone killers. It's gonna teach you what you're doing with your nutrition that's probably hurting and hindering your testosterone. It's teach you what you're doing maybe with your sleep. What foods are you ingesting? What chemicals are you putting in your body that are having a negative impact on your T, having a negative impact on you being the man and you building the body that you're supposed to be. So check out that link down there in the first pinned comment, guys. 7 worst testosterone killers. Jared, you ready?
Yeah, buddy.
Let's roll. So the proper way to do a set of 21, and 21 is just an arbitrary number. It doesn't really need to be 3 sets of 7, but we're gonna do 3 different variations of the same movement. And they're gonna be 3 full exercises, not half and half, with the 3 full exercises. So I'm gonna have you do a spider curl.
So this is a quick question.
Yeah.
So on any bicep, I don't want to actually fully extend, or you do?
You do want to fully extend. And when you're fully extending, actually think about contracting your triceps. So these muscles work in opposition of each other, and a fully lengthened bicep is only going to occur with a fully shortened tricep. That's a whole other video we should at a later time on how to do that. But yeah, you do want full extension, you want full contraction here at the top. So we're going to do 3 different movements, and the only variation is going to be the positioning of your upper body, and that's what's going to create where the tension and load is driven over the course of that bicep. So we really should break the curl down into 3 segments. So you have a lengthened bicep, so that's from about here to here. You have a fully contracted bicep, that's up here at the top, and then you have the mid-range. We're incredibly strong here in the mid-range. That's why when you were doing the half ton, you could stop. It's easy. It's very easy to stop here because you're very, very strong. We're very weak here, and we're also very weak here because most people don't really train those parts of the bicep. So these 3 movements are going to accomplish all of that and help you get the gains that you're looking for. So the first one, let's start with a fully contracted bicep. So I want you to do a spider curl, which is going to be your chest here on the back. Think about keeping your elbows driven out here at the top, and then as you're curling, all the tension is coming here at the bicep. So go ahead and curl up there for me.
Wrists, how are my wrists?
Supination, so we shot that in the video with Steven. Guys, go make sure to check that out at the top here. So,
coming up,
yep, so you want to curl and then think about twisting out to the top there, yep. And what I really want you to focus on doing is as you're letting it down, almost think of like a sweeping motion out. So instead of driving your elbows back as you're coming down, get back up to the top. And as you're releasing, think about even letting these go out even further. And that's just what's gonna keep the tension on here at the top. So this spider curl variation, which would be the first set of 7 that you do, is really focusing on that peak contraction. Because here at the top, maximum tension is going into the bicep. Okay, and it's getting lower and lower and lower. Very little tension going into the bicep at this point in the movement. This would replace the top part of your normal 21s, where you're trying to get that peak contraction.
Check.
The second movement we're gonna do is gonna be an incline curl. So I want your back here on the pad. And this is gonna replace the bottom part. So this is us training our biceps when they're fully lengthened. So whereas I told you to keep your elbows out in front of you before, I want you to keep them behind you now. Okay, it's gonna be easy here at the top. Probably a lot harder to get the movement going at the bottom, isn't it? Because once again, we're very weak down here at the bottom. So we're gonna get our 7.
My head.
Neutral head. I mean, you don't even need to stand. You could sit down if you wanted to, but the way that you're doing it is just fine. Yeah, just keep a nice neutral spine there. So we've gotten our 7 at the top. That was our spider curl. We've now gotten 7 here at the bottom with an incline curl. Okay. So we've trained it maximally here at the top. We've trained it maximally here at the beginning. Now let's finish with 7 standing bicep curls.
Regular.
Yep. So it's going to be very little tension here at the bottom, very little tension here at the top, and it's really going to allow you to exhaust that middle part. And this would be the proper sequence of doing these. You want to tackle it where you're weakest first, where you're second weakest next, and then finish with the full curls. Yep. Still supinating. I mean, the functions of the bicep being an elbow flexion and a wrist supination doesn't change based upon the movements that you're doing. So there should always be an element of that wrist supination built into your biceps.
Okay. Does that look right?
That looks great, yeah.
Okay. And then would I do 3 full sets of everything?
You would do 3 sets of 21, yes. So you would do a total of 63 curls. It would be 21 in each given sequence.
With the rest, when do I rest?
You would rest after the full set of 3. So really, probably the best way to describe this would be what would be called a tricep. You know, everybody knows superset, you pair 2 exercises together. Quad set, you pair 4 exercises together. This, we're pairing 3 exercises. So we're pairing a spider curl, an incline curl, and then a standard.
But doing this many reps, I think of speed.
Okay.
So what kind of speed do I want? Is it like, am I trying to crank through it?
You're not blasting through these. They're not they're not an athletic kind of boosting. I would say your standard, 1-0-1 count. If you wanted a 1 or 2 count up on the way down, slow, controlled. Once again, it's hypertrophy, it's muscle building. So it's not explosion, it's not maximal weight. It's, am I utilizing that muscle fully for what it's capable of doing and creating tension in it during the entirety of the movement?
I can feel in both of those spots that I wouldn't normally feel, for sure.
Yeah.
Just that little bit that we did.
Yeah, so if you pair this with the other video that I shot with Steven on some of those other simple hacks, make that your formula for the next 6 to 8 weeks, brother. I'm telling you, you got an inch, maybe 2 to those biceps. So yeah, man, I mean, it's not just, like I said at the beginning, it's not just what you do in the gym though, it's not just what you're eating. We got to pay attention to our lifestyle, our T factors as well. So we talked about at the beginning, guys, important to pay attention to what you're consuming, how you're sleeping, what you're putting on your body. 7 worst testosterone killers. Probably, I would say without even knowing you, 3 to 4 of those are in your life right now. So check it out down in the pinned comment below. But Frank Rich, my buddy Jared, Critical Bench, we'll see you in the next one.